Hey, Steno, you've been around this game a long time. Did this quote from LaFleur about Rasheed Walker, that he doesn't want to pat him on the butt and have him poop on his hand, are you familiar with that phrase?
Yeah. Very familiar with that.
So I asked Sheed about it today, and he was not aware of that quote, but he said that he thinks Matt doesn't want him getting complacent.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from him? Because his response was, I don't think I played poorly, but I had to get the penalties cleaned up. How do you view his season?
Yeah, I think that's right. Any young player, you just got to make sure you keep hammering in the fundamentals. You keep hammering in just how you have to work every single week. And it's not that Rasheed's been doing a bad job. It's just you just make sure all these young guys, and it's not just him, it's all of them, are just preparing the right way. Just understand that this is a week-to-week league. Like everything you do, you can't rest on any laurels of what happened in the past. You have to just be on your stuff every single week. So I think that's kind of the gist of what he was trying to say. And for us, that's kind of just how we handle all these guys, just holding them accountable and making sure they hold each other accountable and just working every single week to be their best and to improve.
Steno, you guys were really accurate with the deep stuff. I think Jordan was 6 of 6 on throws 15 or more yards down the field Sunday. 49ers have probably the best, statistically the best defense against that stuff. What do they do and what can you do?
Well, their coverage, they do a good job just melting and getting deep with those deeper routes and forcing you to check it down. So basically, we just got to take what they give us and just stay on schedule with the game plan. And if we get those deeper throws, great. We got to make sure when those plays come that we hit them. But if not, just take the checkdowns. And as you can see, Josh and Tucker and all those guys are really productive when that stuff happens. So, just kind of take what the defense gives you.
Have you found, are there any specific challenges with a quarterback who's in his second season as the starter? He's a much different guy than he was the previous year, but he's still not what you would call, an experienced player. Any particular challenges with that for him?
Not so much challenges, just kind of reminders, that sometimes when you think you've mastered something, you just have to make sure you keep practicing it to reinforce certain things, certain throws or certain reads or just certain decisions that he makes. So I think, with Jordan, he's such a mature guy, and he's smart and just great work ethic and everything like that, but sometimes you can put a little too much on his plate, and just because you think he can handle it. So you just got to, as a coach, just kind of understand, again, this is his second year as a starter, so it's not like like you said, he's a polished pro or anything like that. Still got a long way to go. So, just understanding where he's at.
Steno, what was it like to see Christian Watson, have the performance that he had? Because, he's had some injuries, hasn't been able to get the targets he needed, but just to do that. And also, what does it do just for the wide receiver room?
Yeah, no, it was great. Like, you could see it in practice the last month or so, just him really getting into his stride and making a lot of big plays. So it was great to see him go out there and have a really good game like that. And you see it every year from him, just like the impact that he has. Cowboys game a couple years ago, he had 3 touchdowns. Like, he can do that any game. He has that ability to just be the game-changing force that he was last week. So, no, it was great. Like, everyone loves Christian. They respect his work ethic, just how he's a pro every single day. So when guys like that really shine, I think it really picks everyone up.
Against the Bears, I think you had 18 first downs, and you had 1 third-down conversion.
Yeah.
That's about the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was one of the weirdest games, yeah.
So how do you get all that first and second down production and carry some of it over to the third down? So
yeah, and a lot of the third downs were in the red zone too. So it was just strange. Like, we had the ball. I think we had 6 real possessions, and we had 1 punt. And the rest of them, we were in the red zone. Like, we did a great job moving the ball. So, yeah, it's one of those things where we're just, you can see how explosive we are. You can see how productive we can be. But we just got to really focus on finishing, whether it's, the third downs or in the red zone, finishing with touchdowns, or field goals at least. But we just got to be better in those situations for sure.
Third down has been an issue.
It has, yeah. And it's been kind of, as the year has gone on, it's been like different problems. At first, we had a lot of penalties, and then we had a lot of drops. And now we just got to make sure we just keep focusing on being productive and just honing in on simple plays and making sure we can play fast and go execute.
Do you think the scramble drill part, I mean, it's been a long time since Jordan's been able to really get outside the pocket.
Well, if you think about like the play that won us the game, or one of the plays, when he got out in the red zone and almost scored, the pylon, that was a scramble, and I think that was a good indication of how he's feeling health-wise with his knee and his groin and all that stuff. He got out of the pocket, made a great play, almost scored a touchdown there. I thought we did, but yeah, I think he's feeling a lot better.
Do your receivers need to? I mean, do you think that kind of chemistry on scramble plays has maybe not been there just because he hasn't scrambled?
Yeah, you could say that maybe. We'll kind of see as we go. It's something we kind of talk about a lot. Anytime the quarterback leaves the pocket, all right, you see this, you react this way to whoever. I thought at the time when he was scrambling out, he may have had a shot at Tucker in the end zone, but he just took it. I think he saw his lane to the end zone and just went for it, which I can't blame him for. So, yeah, it's just something you really got to, as chemistry and all that stuff, that's very important.
What about on the 4th and 6? Could somebody have gotten themselves open, or do you think it was just really good?
Yeah, they had that one pretty covered. Yeah, no one sticks out in my mind as far as like who he could have gotten the ball to there. Yeah, because he kind of left the pocket and then went for it again, trying to get it with his legs.
So how long do you think it takes for a quarterback and his receivers to get good at that, right? I mean, obviously Rodgers had so many years with a lot of those guys that they all knew exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends, but I think we have that capability. We certainly do with the guys we have, and just how the feel they have for the game. And we've made some great plays in the past off scrambles. So it's just kind of as the games go, more opportunities show up.
How good was that pass from Jordan on the 60-yarder at Christian?
Yeah.
I mean, he got hit really hard.
Yeah, it was a great, no flinch in the pocket. There was pressure in his face. He threw a dime, and then a hell of a play by Christian to make that play and then have the just instincts to get up and go. And I was hoping he was going to score right there. But, yeah, that was an unbelievable throw.
Obviously, you can't, really drum this like you can have Brenton Cox taking free runs at him at practice.
No.
How do you get good at that as a quarterback?
It's kind of, you either have it or you don't, Some guys, have that just ability to stand in the pocket and make those plays. And I think it's something that it's just a mindset, really. And he definitely has that for sure.
Had you seen him plant and throw like he did on, I think, the first Watson one where he kind of threw between two defenders? Remember that one? Had you seen him really, it looked like his follow through was really good, his plant,
Yeah.
Have you been doing that consistently?
Yes. Not so much in games, but yes, in practice you were seeing just him look better with his lower body, throwing the ball and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Is that a good sign?
Very good sign, yes.
I don't want to insinuate that Jordan wasn't good about taking checkdowns last year, but it did feel like there were times during the first half of the season where maybe he passed some up.
Yeah, he definitely could have been better last year at the beginning for sure.
So when you look at what he did against the Bears, and I know the plays to Watson are the ones that get your attention, or the touchdown throw to Reed, but getting the ball to the running backs, I think 6 of the 13 completions were to running backs. Is that a good sign for
Oh, yeah.
is the decision-making?
Yeah, it's great. It's just, again, like we talked about earlier with the 49ers, just taking what they give you, And again, if those down the field throws aren't there and you got a guy who's a playmaker down in the flat we got an explosive, maybe 2 off of those. So, yeah, you always, again, want to stay on schedule, and stay out of those third down situations.
I'm not sure if Bosa's going to play or not. I don't think he practiced today, but obviously you've seen him a bunch. What's the challenge that he presents?
Well, everyone talks about, how great he is as a pass rusher, and he's one of the best in the NFL. Just his get off, his power, his ability to create an edge on a tackle is elite. He can get after guys pretty good, but he's also really, really good in the run game too. Just his physicality. Anytime he's one-on-one with a tight end, something like that, that's a problem. So he's a guy that you just have to be aware of wherever he's at on the field to make sure you're not in a bad play.
Josh Jacobs' touchdown where Bears have just about everybody in the stadium up at the line. So how did you know that was going to work? Is that one where Jordan would maybe go, time out?
No, at that point, we just wanted a downhill run, and there was an unblocked hat, and that's what makes guys like Josh special, is there's a guy down there, you make a miss, you score a touchdown. If he tackles you, then, next play, but he obviously made a miss on that one and scored. So that's just one thing, the nice thing about having a guy like him is to just provide those kind of plays for the offense.
2 more, please.
Steno, I appreciate your correction last week that Michigan-Ohio State is the college football rivalry. I know that Hallbach isn't putting together a Packers-49ers rivalry tape this week, but there's a lot of history here, right? I'm just curious, how do you kind of make the main thing, but we all know, everybody in that locker room knows they ended your season last year.
No doubt.
So what's kind of the approach for you guys as coaches to make it important, but not like?
Yeah, I think the game itself, just this week, where we are in the season, where they are in the season, is a really big game, for us and our playoff implications, and the same thing for them. It's a big game. Obviously, anytime you lose to somebody in the playoffs, that's going to make it a little bit more meaningful, which, the guys are fired up for. And it's fun. Again, like last week versus the Bears, like anytime you can make a game in a 17, game season, anytime you can just add a little bit more fuel, add a little bit more motivation, I think that's very powerful and useful.